absolute packed house here, standing room only for Agassi and Sampras. And now Agassi being introduced to this crowd, acknowledges it as he usually does, and it is tremendous atmosphere. Lee, if you were just down there, I'll tell you, it's electric right now.
Oh, it's amazing. And this is one of those moments that we all look forward to in tennis. Look at that crowd. There is not an open seat in this facility. And if there is, someone is off getting a drink, because it is hot down there on the court, Barry. It's very hot.
Sampras warming up on the near side.
29 years old, playing in his hometown. He practices on these courts regularly. Very comfortable on the blue courts of UCLA. Again, a pretty modest record so far this year. Surprisingly at 20 in the champions race.
That is amazing when you think about it. Everybody considers him perhaps the best players in the world, and as we see how they have arrived here, certainly a lot of tie breaks, Leaf.
Yeah, convincing, yet he's been close. You know, he got 4 tiebreakers in those 4 matches. Chris Woodruff, Michael Chang, the Swede Magnus Norman, and Xavier Malisse, the Belgian. So he was lucky to get out a couple of those sets. I mean, Malisse had him, close ball on the sideline, and you know, I have a feeling that maybe there's a little bit of destiny at play here.
And his opponent today, a very familiar face on the far side, Andre Agassi, the 31st time these two have met. Agassi just under 6 feet tall, in great shape at 170, a little older than Pete at 31.
Yeah, but look at that record. I mean, he has not lost many matches. And leading the champions race, Gustavo Kuerten in 2nd place. But he's really set the bar for this season. He started off with a bang, winning in Australia, and of course backing that up with the Indian Wells victory and the win down in Key Biscayne. So he got out of the blocks very hot, and you can see he's had a couple struggles, but these were very tough matches, and I think it showed just how gritty he is right now. Very into it mentally.
And that match yesterday, Lee, I really feel the best match he's played all year long. The quality of tennis against Kuerten was outstanding. We are ready to go. Everybody settles in. First game, first set for the title. And Sampras opens with an ace out wide. 107 miles per hour. That's got to help his confidence to start this match. Not going to take Pete long to warm up. He's already loose. 120 miles per hour on that last delivery. And he dishes up a double fault.
I guess you could say he's dictated play. He's had an ace and a double fault, but this is a classic motion. Again, using all the elements. There's so many parts that go into a serve. Notice how that trunk is turned and ready to load, and up he goes with that nice snap at the end.
15 all.
You got to put those parts together in the serve. It's a chain of events. It starts in your toes and ends with your wrist.
Will go long. Well, Agassi said to Patrick O'Neill, I'm going to try and get him not to bring the dog. I love that expression. The dog being a lot of power and a lot of pace. 30-15. Ooh, it looked like a fault wide, no call.
You know, and I think part of Sampras' problem over the last 14 months has been finding that motivation. You know, after he won that 13th slam. But I think when you play Andre Agassi in the finals of a prestigious event, he's ready to go as best as he can be.
And there is the big one down the center, ace number 2. 40-15.
Well, Barry, you probably played one guy in your career who you just felt comfortable playing. You knew what was going to happen. You won some, you lost some, but you knew what you needed to do to win. And I think that settles the guys down and allows them to play their best tennis.
It's wide. 133 miles per hour, that last first serve. This heat, too, Leaf, is going to help the server. And a solid backhand volley from Sampras. And Sampras quickly on the board at 1-love.
Well, here's a look at the champions race that I mentioned in the Open. Andre Agassi out ahead of Gustavo Kuerten. He's going to stay on top after this week. Again, quite a few Europeans in there. Patrick Rafter, a good run at Wimbledon. Rounding out the top 10, Yevgeny Kafelnikov, and noticeably absent, Pete Sampras. Of course, he is now 20th in the champions race. If he can win here, he would move up into the 13th or 14th position.
To a guy who's playing awful good tennis this year. Juan Carlos Ferrero at number 3. That kid can play on almost any surface. He's not just a clay courter. I watched him at Wimbledon, Leaf. He's a grass court player. This guy is very talented. Agassi serving now. Second game. First set. That's long. We mentioned the heat already. The sun will definitely be a factor today. Agassi serving with the sun from behind him. And Pete Sampras on the far side looking directly into the sun. Good. Oh, Sampras with a wide open court misses the backhand.
Great exchange there, but it all starts off with the serve, and this is one part of Agassi's game that he's really improved. Pretty economical motion, but again, a good position at the start, and he's getting it done. Again, he's got good explosion right up to the hit. He's got pretty good spin on that second ball, even if it isn't real fast.
It's good. Sampras getting a lot of angle on that forehand cross court.
His forehand has been very solid this week. His backhand he has struggled with, and I think it's important that he hit a few good ones early to build a bit of confidence. But again, he plays the backhand with such nice variety, particularly against Agassi.
Oh, the return goes long, and Agassi now at 40-15, trying to even this first set. Brad Gilbert in the crowd there with the sunglasses and the white hat. His son at his right, Zach.
Well, that's the shot I was talking about. If Sampras can find that one today, I think it's going to be a long day for Agassi. Sampras has definitely struggled off this side, but this time he gets a nice shoulder turn and a little bit of weight through the hit, and that's going to help him.
No, Andre tries that two-hander up the line. It goes wide. We are at deuce. Well, you got to know when you run around and hit a forehand like Agassi does and leave that court open, there's an opportunity. I think he's been talking to Steffi a little bit. She used to love that shot. That's a big shot. Agassi's first venture up to net.
Well, Agassi always dangerous on the short ball. This time he's going to come in behind it. He tries the roller.
It's a miss hit, and so Agassi holds. One game off first set.
Now, this is something of a rivalry. 31 career meetings. Sampras has got the edge 15 times in finals. 12 tie breaks. I get a feeling we're going to see one today, at least one.
I wouldn't be surprised. As Sampras now, you see him checking that sun. We've mentioned it. Very difficult serving from that far side. No. What looked to be a fairly routine backhand volley goes long, and Agassi wins that first point on Sampras' serve. Again, you see him checking it out. It is so tough, Leaf, when you first look up there and try and figure out where you're going to toss the ball.
Well, it's amazing to think that this rivalry started back in 1989, the first pro match in Rome, Italy, and Agassi won that one 6-2, 6-1. Since then, it's been Sampras with the edge.
is a sensational volley from Sampras. We're at the Mercedes-Benz Cup in Los Angeles, LA Tennis Center. Andre Agassi going against Pete Sampras. Best of 3 for the title. Sampras on the left, Agassi on the right. I'm Barry McKay along with Leif Shires, and courtside is Patrick O'Neill. 30-15 and now 40-15 as Sampras fires his second ace of the match. 108 miles per hour. Yes, there is that inside-out forehand from Agassi.
Well, Andre Agassi is all about real estate, and he knows the moments when he can go for it. Again, tremendous preparation. The racket's back. He just pulls the trigger. His timing is right on.
Oh, Sampras again with an error. What looked to be a routine backhand.
Sometimes it looks like Pete gets up on the backhand. You know, he's way above the ball. You can see how he's just at the hit, he's up just a bit when he needs to be down and through a little more.
He looked at his hand, rubbed the left hand off, and then he's uncomfortable over there right now, looking up at that sun. He's really having some problems.
There's a better backhand there.
Didn't have a problem with that one.
Yeah, he leaned on that. It's a little more natural for a one-hander to take it cross court. And that time he stayed down on it better.
His punch, too, into that backhand.
Not a bad backhand volley, Barry. He stepped out and nailed that one.
That's a fault. As you mentioned, Leif, extremely hot today, and I think Sampras having a little trouble with the grip. His hands sweating and that racket moving on him a little bit. Yeah. And he holds. And so Sampras now up 2-1. Stay with us. We're in Los Angeles, LA Tennis Center, championship match. A brilliant forehand up the line.
This time it's the Sampras forehand from the middle of the court that does the damage. Look at the wind-up preparation. He's coming in behind it.
That's wide. I don't believe it. A wide open court lead.
Pete Sampras using all the court here. And look at this beautiful underspin lob, catching Agassi close to the net. Agassi does well to get it. Sampras has the winning volley, but he missed it.
Great court coverage from Agassi, but that lob really set up for him perfectly when he got back to it. You mentioned, Leif, this court playing a little bit slower than usual.
Well, it's a medium speed, really, but the ball bounces pretty straight up.
Sampras taking a bit of a chance on that second serve return, 15-30.
Well, if he has time, he's going to press the issue, whether it's on the backhand or the forehand.
Just wide. Agassi jumped over, thought he had the ace.
Great recovery there from Agassi. Sampras belted a backhand down the line. See Agassi gunning for that 4th title. Kierton, the title leader with 5, including the French Open. And there's your friend Juan Carlos Ferreira, the Spaniard. There's always a Spaniard doing well, whether it's Correia, Mart. So many Spaniards out there on the tour. Pretty impressive.
And now a big chance for Pete Sampras. 4th game, 1st set. Oh, just out. Oh, thought for a minute he hit the winner. A little bit of a late call on that baseline. Sampras doesn't flinch. Players know, don't they, Leaf, when they've got a winner or not? Oh, drop volley. Just kind of sits on the top of the net.
He gets in a good position here with the chip and charge. It's a pretty tough volley. I'm surprised he didn't bang that down the line. It's a much tougher volley to make.
You know, he made about 5 of those little drop volleys yesterday, and I think in his mind he's saying, I'm trying that one again.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
Well, let's not forget that Agassi is just gunning the ball as well.
Yeah.
And the ball's heavy with lots of spin. And it's really tough to take that pace off, plus find the angle.
Ooh. Just long. Championship match, the Mercedes-Benz Cup here from the LA Tennis Center. Andre Agassi on the far court taking on Pete Sampras. 2 games to 1. Sampras up in the 1st set on Barry McKay along with Lee Shiras and Patrick O'Neill. No.
Well, this is the rhythm of the points that these guys are accustomed to. Sampras applying the pressure, Agassi having to come up with an answer, and that time he did. The nice pass. Yeah. Sampras couldn't cut it off.
Good control from Agassi on that forehand lead. Kept it low. It is not easy to get the ball past Sampras. Longest game of the match thus far, deuce number 3. That was not a tough serve to get back. Sampras catching the tape. No. And Agassi holds. 2 games all, 1st set. Weeknights at 11:30, it's The Last Word with Jim Rome. Jim tells it like it is on the Nightline of sports talk shows. The Last Word with Jim Rome, weeknights at 11:30 p.m. right here on Fox Sports Net. was all. Agassi got a bit of a break there. Sampras mishitting that last ball badly. Ace number 4 down the center, 127 miles per hour.
Yeah, he looks like he's in a good rhythm on his serve. I mean, at least in this early stage of the match. And I think that says a lot about his focus. He is right there. I guess you could say the best serve in the game going against the best return in the game.
Without question. Agassi on a great angle. Two-hander
The
there.
returner won that one.
Yeah.
That was a sweet little angle back cross court.
Serve volley. Sampras looked a little like a Wimbledon point.
Well, that's what the serve and volleyer wants to see. I mean, if he can see a volley above his waist, I mean, he knows he's going to control the point and dictate it because he can play a more aggressive volley. And that time Sampras hit a winner.
No call. Ace number 5. Oh, you can serve a couple of aces per game, Leaf. That takes a lot of pressure off
And
the
it
server.
conserves energy as well.
Yeah.
Of course, Sampras knows that Agassi is going to have to hit, 3-4 ground strokes. So if he can win his service games easily, he can bring that pressure to Agassi's serve.
Oh, yes. But it goes long. Agassi on the half volley. Stay with us. Sampras Agassi going at it here in Los Angeles.
Sampras got ahead of himself there. I think he sensed, oh, I got a chance here. And he was almost ahead of that return.
Let first serve. That big forehand again for Sampras. Gave himself time.
15.
Well, Sampras is so clever because he takes pace off and he slows down Agassi's game, and then that allows him to then dictate play.
Just over the baseline, very close.
Well, you sensed he had a chance there. He had some time. He was ready. Just missed it long. Thought that would have given him 2 break points had he made it.
Now slowing things down. Had the towel over his shoulder. Very clever move from Agassi at this point, because Sampras definitely on a roll at this point.
Well, that's a great play from Sampras. A little bit of the Bill Tilden strategy there. He played Agassi's strength, which is really the forehand. And it's earned him a break point.
Biggest point of the match to date right here, and this crowd senses it. Sampras at break point. And a big change of pace on that first serve, Leaf, 79 miles per hour. the biggest forehand we have seen all week long.
Well, this serve doesn't do enough. And Pete Sampras says, no, you got to do more with it. I mean, that was a rocket.
Oh. Look out. Oh, and Agassi gets away with murder. Hit right into Sampras with a wide open court.
Yeah, Sampras had a swing there, didn't he? But, you know, Agassi made the right play. He came in, and it was good enough. Obviously, you don't want to give Sampras too many of those chances.
Oh, and a break for Sampras. Just catches the tape and gets over.
Bridget Wilson looking on closely. Pete Sampras' lovely wife, star of Wedding Planner. And a new film coming out called The Extremists.
No! Andre way over the baseline, and Sampras is broken. Let's go courtside now to Patrick O'Neill. Patrick.
Thank you very much, Barry. It's my pleasure to be with Kelsey Grammer. Kelsey, I know you're a big tennis fan, but this is the first time you've had a chance to see Pete Sampras and Andre Agassi do battle. Does it get any better than this?
I'm afraid it doesn't. I watch them on television all the time, and I must say it's thrilling to be here in person. And pretty scary.
They hit the ball awful hard. I bet you wouldn't want to be a lines person. Is that correct?
No. I just would be so intimidated to even be down there. I mean, and I did play with these guys the other night, but I didn't touch a ball.
Well, I was there. You actually touched quite a few. You played pretty well, I must say, Monday night. And you were part of the winning team. You played with Pete, and actually Pete and Andre ended up playing a couple of points together. I don't know if that was fate or what.
I think it's just the way they are. They're so above the rest of us that they play at an elevated capacity, and it was sort of like standing next to greatness the whole time. I just thought, let me get these guys on stage.
Kelsey, can I get you to do a little sideshow Bob calling the next point? You think that'd be possible?
I don't think I could.
How about just the touch?
Well, all right. Now, if Bart were here, he'd be very impressed with Mr. Sampras' style. Here we are, about to contact. That is a light serve for Mr. Sampras. And he's overhit it. Point goes to Mr. Agassi.
Kelsey, you're a great sport. Thanks very much for the time.
Thanks.
Take care. Back to you, Barry.
Thanks, Pat. You know what, Leaf? We're in trouble. We're in big trouble. I think send this guy up. A break point now for Agassi. 7th game. Called out. Sampras is not going to like this call. And Agassi breaks right back. Norm Christ in the chair. We are at 4 games to 3. A very close call. Another look as we head out of here momentarily. Good call. It was out. We'll be right back. Welcome back to center court here in the Mercedes-Benz Cup, the LA Tennis Center on the campus of UCLA. I'm Barry McKay along with Leif Shirus and Patrick O'Neill. We got a match on our hands. Both of these guys have won this title. And now Agassi has broken back. He is right back in this first set as he checks the sun, shows Pete new tennis balls. And a very smart thing there as he looks up to see exactly where he's going to toss the ball. 3-4, Sampras up, first set. Oh, Leaf, that's the second outright return off the forehand from Sampras.
These guys playing at a high level. Look at this return. He's in trouble. He comes up with something extra good. A little angle.
Oh.
That's a good serve from Agassi. You know, you see it coming. and you think it's going to have some pace, and instead it has some spin, and it's tough to adjust to it when you're expecting a big first serve.
This ball bouncing very high. You played on his court, Lee.
Yeah.
It's bouncing high.
It really is. You have to get on it early.
Net court. Oh.
Well, this backhand had such tremendous length that Agassi couldn't do much with it. So Sampras had this nice, easy forehand that he just cracked across court. That's 2 forehand winners and a chance now for Sampras to get to break point.
Sampras with 15 winners now to Agassi's 2. Oh, it's wide. Just carries wide.
Well, Norm Christ was right on top of that. That ball landed pretty much in front of him on that service line. No argument from Pete. Boy, some tense moments here.
Oh. Nice solid approach shot from Agassi. Saw his opportunity, Lee.
Well, Agassi is smart enough to know that he's going to have to come in at the right times. And even if the ball is short and it's inviting him, he's going to do it, you know. He's going to measure when he should be in.
It's only been in 5 times this entire match, has won 3 of those points, so he's picking his times. That'll go long. Agassi ducks out of the way of that ball. We are dead even at 4 games all.
4 games all.
Both these guys working hard out here. 2-time Mercedes-Benz Cup champion. Beat Agassi in 1999 and beat Agassi's coach back in 1991. And there he is.
There's a win for you. Bradley
Gilbert.
Gilbert having some fun with his son at his right. His wife Kim to his left enjoying the tennis. The family's all down from Northern California this weekend. I'm sure Brad's been here all week long. And on the left with the towel over his head, that's Gil Reyes, Andre's longtime friend and trainer. Sampras with his 3rd double of the match and a bad time for it. First point.
Well, this is how he got into trouble when he had the break. He double faulted to start off the last service game, which he lost.
Nope.
15.
He'll get it.
Well, Agassi forcing Sampras to play some tough shots. And finally, he earns an easy one. He's got plenty of room down the line, and he makes no mistake on it.
Great lob, though, Lee. High, deep, got him back in the point.
So Agassi a little more efficient, but Sampras is willing to take more chances.
Oh, yes.
Bread and butter. First serve, first volley.
30.
When in trouble, go to what you can count on, what you do best.
There's a couple of great old champions on the right. Both straw hats. That's Jack Kramer in the pink, and that's Ted Schroeder, his partner.
First.
Schroeder on the left, Kramer on the right. There's a couple of fabulous Davis Cuppers. Cam Sism, the attorney, assistant director, right behind, helping out. Kramer still signing autographs. He's been doing that all his life. That's a great shot. Sampras, when he needs it, out wide with that slice. No. No. Double fault number 4.
Well, his second this game.
Well, Agassi giving him a lot of room on the return of serve, Leaf. Way back, he's about 3 or 4 feet, maybe a little bit more behind the baseline. Sampras, I think, looking over there saying, hey, where is this guy? Here's where he's returning from. Well behind that baseline. Why does he do that, Lee? Just to give himself a split second more?
Well, I think he's trying to change Sampras' perspective. You know, anything to make Sampras think about something else.
And there it is, Agassi with the return. Now a big chance for Agassi here. Break point at 4-all. Sampras goes for his bread and butter serve down the center. Doesn't work. Double fault. Sampras with a double on break point. His 5th. Stay with us. Agassi serves for the set when we return. That is not a rain umbrella, folks. It is very hot, up in the 90s here today on center court at the LA Tennis Center, as Andre Agassi prepares to try and win this first set over his old rival Pete Sampras. 5-4 Agassi. Sampras taking just a bit of extra time on the changeover. And Pete, who has not lost a set this week, on the verge.
Yeah, he's in trouble here now. And remember, he was up 4-2 in this set. And Agassi has won the last 3 games, serving for it at 5-4.
Great play from Sampras on the first point.
Well, when you lose your serve, you re-intensify your focus, and Sampras has done it here. All of a sudden, he's raised his level just a bit. That approach shot was very good.
Close, just wide. Now Sampras with a big opportunity to get back in it. I think the 5-4 game, when you're trying to close out a set on your own serve, the toughest of all.
You know, the last games always seem to be the toughest, whether it's the set or the match.
No.
Well, that was a mouth-watering return. It was up, and Sampras had time, but I think he overhit it.
Well,
Went for a little too much.
He's hit 2 fantastic forehand returns for winners. No, that will go wide.
That's when Agassi's going to win points, is when he gets Sampras off balance like that. It all started with a good first serve. And from that shot onward, Sampras was playing defense.
Agassi 2 points away now. 30-all. Called out. And now Agassi at set point.
space down the line.
Long. Once again, set point, Agassi.
Is Agassi going to try and sneak one up the middle, or is he going to try the high twister out to the
I
backhand?
think he'll go out wide. It's been working for him. That will go long. Agassi with the first set. And a big roar goes up from this packed house here at the LA Tennis Center. Stay with us. We'll have more of this championship when we return.
Monday night of this week at the LA Tennis Center, it was a night at the net, benefiting Music Care as part of the Recording Academy, and it was a night for the stars.
I don't know anything.
Andre Agassi was given a baby grand piano to benefit his charitable foundation. Here's Andre Agassi, Pete Sampras showing off a little bit of their imitative skills. And there is Andre wiping the sweat from Pete Sampras's brow. And there's David Spade and Kelsey Grammer were a part of it, as was Pam Schreiber. And Greg Kinnear and Matthew Perry from Friends. It all came down to 20 points all, 1 point to win it all. Agassi and Sampras squaring off. This time it was Sampras with the win. And his team, big win for Grammer and Spade. And I think David Spade was the most happiest. Had a big win over Andre Agassi, as did Kelsey Grammer. But it was a great night benefiting a great cause. And it was a sold-out house here, Barry.
It's really become a terrific tradition, Leaf. I think it's the 10th year they have done that on Monday night. A wonderful charity fundraiser, and everybody enjoys it. But right now, the same folks that were here Monday night are enjoying one of the best finals we've seen in a long time. Agassi with the first set, 6-4. Sampras in quickly now, 15 all, first game, second set. We're at the Mercedes-Benz Cup Championship match. I'm Barry McKay along with Leif Shivers. Patrick O'Neill is courtside. Agassi with the first set, 6-4. First game, second set. Sampras serving 15 all.
Great change of direction on the Sampras forehand. Again, notice the preparation. The elbow's up, and the racket head comes up. And now watch how it drops below the ball and hits through, and he finishes high. And I tell you, he worked hard at the start of his career with Tim Gullickson, his coach that passed away, to get that forehand into gear. In fact, Hank Jungle, who was a coach of Tim Gullickson, was instrumental as well in providing some input for Tim and how to get that forehand right.
Well, there's a name from out of the past, Hank Jungle. I used to watch him. Him when we were both in the Air Force, believe it or not. Now we're really going back.
Yeah.
40-15. A very solid game. He leads 1-love, second set. Let's have a look now at our first set statistics.
These guys have both played well. Sampras pretty even, but just too many errors. And look at Andre Agassi, very efficient in what he's doing. Yeah, he's made a few mistakes, but he's been very solid. And look at the first serves. He hasn't allowed Sampras to attack too much off the first serve. Sampras certainly played well enough to win that first set.
Yeah.
But Agassi really recovered.
Agassi now going into that backhand pretty consistently, and Pete's picking it up.
Yeah, I mean, he's anticipating that. And again, good position at the net. He covers the line. Again, watch how he cross steps over, softens the racket in his hand.
This hit from Agassi, and now Sampras with an early opportunity here. Love 30, love 1. And my guess is if he gets another backhand second serve, he's coming right in behind it again. It's working for him.
Well, Agassi just taking the ball so early there. He was right on top of the baseline. And if you can take the ball early, you don't have to hit it as hard, because you're beating your opponent to the spot by taking it more early.
Oh. No, it's wide. Agassi going for it all, but it was a good play. He had no other play. He was way off course.
Yeah, exactly. Once you're extended outside the doubles alley, you have to make up your mind to go for it. Double break point now for Sampras. I mean, look at where Agassi is. I mean, he's right in the front row. That did not miss by much.
Oh.
I tell you, there was some open court there, wasn't there?
Andre just watched that ball go long by a couple of inches. Still alive, still break point. And Agassi from 1540 down gets even. It's deuce. For a little too much, and again Sampras with the break point.
I haven't seen Pete wearing a wristband in a while. Normally he plays without one, but he's just so sweaty that he's opted to go with one today.
Ooh, Pete thought that might have been wide. Has another look at it.
I think Sampras has made up his mind that he's not going to let any of these calls bother him. He's more interested in the task at hand. Paul Anacone, Pete Sampras' longtime coach. He has seen these guys square off a few times. Paul started working with Pete back in 1995. And that's when Tim Gullickson first became ill with cancer.
And Agassi gets out of trouble. We are at 1-game all, second set. On the field, they're invincible, but off the field, they're all too human. Fox Sports takes a look at the athletes you thought you knew. Beyond the Glory takes you inside the hidden world of sports' biggest stars. Beyond the Glory, Sundays at 8 p.m. on Fox Sports Net. Check your local listings for the start time in your area. It is very hot down there, well up in the 90s, fans out.
What kind of fans? Tennis fans?
All kinds. Southern California. 1-game all, third game now, second set.
Well, on that Monday night benefit, You know, David Spade was yelling from the sidelines, Pete, you've got to adjust your toss. You know, he's saying, your toss is just a little over here. It needs to be there. And he says, you can't see that from there, but your toss is off.
Ace number 7, right down the center, 119 miles per hour. The thing about Sampras' serve leave, it really is tough to know which way he's going. All the players are saying, I got to guess, really. I just have to take a chance.
Now, this is the kind of game Sampras likes to play on his serve. Get through there easily. Redouble his efforts on the return.
Yes.
Well, he made that look easy, didn't he? That was a very tough second serve. And with that two-hander, sometimes you can use the left hand to get that racket head around to bring the angle around. And I think it's a harder shot to hit with a one-handed backhand. That time the left hand came in handy, if I may say so.
It's a fault. I think on the two-hander leaf, on the high balls particularly, that's when the two-hander really helps. The low balls, so much more difficult. Agassi, another big return, and so suddenly the 40-love lead disappears.
Agassi is that type of player. I mean, he can just string together some bang-bang returns, and all of a sudden, he's back even. Sampras still with a chance to close this out.
Can you believe it? 3 quick points. We are at deuce.
I think a lot of tennis players have gone through that, where you get down love 40, or you're down 40 love on your opponent's serve, and you just kind of loosen up and go for your shots. And that's what Agassi's done here. Let's see if Sampras adjusts and gets a good first serve in here.
No, call the fault. Ooh, didn't miss by much. Agassi thought he had it.
I saw that ball wide also.
Norm Christ reaffirming the call.
I mean, I like to hear that from the chair.
Yeah.
You know, he was very definite about it.
It was wide.
I mean, as a player, you want to have an umpire who is not indecisive at all. You want him to say clearly out, no argument, let's get on with it.
No, just catches the tape. Years ago, Las Vegas, Laver against Connors. They had me on the service line. I got a close call, first point, out. I yelled as loud as I could. They looked over at me and said, hey, guy can see the ball. I wasn't sure what the heck it was. Those players both obviously winning this tournament. Rod Laver, Jimmy Connors. All the faults. Sampras not happy. As we mentioned at the start of this program, 1927, the great Bill Tilden won it. this. Going for it down the line. Throws the sweatlet away. It looked like the racket may have slipped.
I'll tell you what, that was such a good defensive lob. When it hit the court, it caromed up about 25 feet high, and so it was very tricky to play. You can see how long Sampras has to wait.
And that's off the bounce.
Yeah, that's a very difficult overhead to play.
Break point, Agassi. Now a second serve opportunity.
Well, this is a time when you just have to muster the courage to go for it. It's a short ball. This is what you want. Sampras plays through the pressure.
I was amazed that Agassi got that ball back. It's deuce.
Well, that time Sampras handled the overhead. You know, Agassi's pretty underrated in his movement around the court. I mean, this guy can track down a lot of tennis balls.
Well, defense is what won him that first set. Just getting the ball back in play. Be good. Not good, but great. Agassi rolls around that shot.
Well, anytime you can make a guy play a half volley like this, it gives you just enough time. That's just as much time Agassi needed. You can see he had just a moment to get it when he snapped that racket through the hit. He makes it look easy.
Oh. Ball to fault. Sampras going for a big second serve. His sixth double of the match. And once again now, Agassi with a chance to break. Number 8 down the center.
Now, this is the longest game of the match now, and it may be the most significant one as well. I mean, Sampras has got to get a toehold in this set. I think if he lost his serve here, it might be over. I mean, he's got to stay ahead.
Jam tries to do a little too much with a volley. And again, Agassi with the opportunity. There's a lot of errors for a 7-time Wimbledon champion. It's wide. Believe it. Agassi on the full run. Knocks off the winner as Gilbert is on his feet. Best forehand of the match as Agassi just clobbers that ball up the line. Stay with us. Agassi and Sampras going at it. It is great stuff. Welcome back. back to center court, the Mercedes-Benz Cup Championship match. Andre Agassi with the first set. Well, look who is here. Jim Carrey. The interested spectators in the crowd. I'd like to see him hit a couple of balls.
Yeah, as long as he wasn't the character in The Mask, he might come up with something special.
No, Sampras over hits the forehand.
Well, when you play Andre Agassi, it's a physical challenge as well as a mental challenge, and now Sampras is going to have to answer that physical challenge. He's playing in the heat. He's down a set and a break, but yet he has to stay strong.
Agassi with an ace out wide, his first of the match.
And we saw Agassi against Kjartan, and Agassi, I think, just physically wore Kjartan down.
He did.
And I think we're seeing a little bit of that here now. Sampras piling up the unforced errors.
Andre over hits.
Well, see, Agassi is seemingly finding all the answers. I mean, that was pretty good pressure from Sampras. I almost felt like that forehand was going to go wide, but when you're at the net, it's tough to make that call when it's so close on the line.
No, Agassi gets caught. Not really caught, because that's where he likes to hit that ball off the baseline. He hits so many half volleys. Sampras way off court, wails a forehand for a winner.
Well, he anticipated that serve and got around early. I tell you, you give a great player time, he's going to hurt you. Look at where he ended up. He was outside the doubles.
He's like 15 feet outside that court.
He's sitting next to Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
God, and he had the short one there. You know, he earned the right shot, just didn't execute the backhand down the line.
Game point, Agassi to go to a 3-1 advantage in the second. Another race from Agassi, his second. And now Agassi up a set and 3-1.
We have seen something here today, Barry, and the pictures have been great. And I guess we have to acknowledge our producer, Harold Hecht, who's done such a great job. And probably the best guy in the business in the director's chair, Bruce Troy. Bruce is delivering some beautiful shots today.
And many thanks to the tournament director all week long, Bob Kramer, and Mike Davis, who does such a great job with all the operations around here.
I like this blue court here, too. Yeah. It's a nice background.
It's got a good look to it. Easy to see the ball, too. Oh, Sampras with another double. 7th of the match. Serving from that difficult side, though, where the sun is right in his eyes, is Brad Gilbert.
Well, that's looking a little glum.
I thought it was Gilbert. He did, but that's Paul Annacone.
That was probably the best half volley he's hit today. But Agassi is making him play very tough shots. And watch this inside-out backhand volley. Notice how he stays down on it. Only comes up after he's made contact with the ball. Almost like he's recovering to get to the next shot. But great hands. Another good ball from Agassi down at Sampras's feet.
These are must-win points for Sampras now. Down a break, down a set, down 15-30 here in the 5th game. And Pete looking over now. I don't know. A lot of people all of a sudden standing up to our left. Somebody may have just gone down in the stands. And this is tough because Sampras with a second serve coming up. Wow.
Well, it is hot out here
Yeah.
today, and even sitting in the stands, you can see a lot of people working those fans pretty steadily. You really have to maintain your liquids out here, and certainly we're hoping for the best.
And this is like a call for Norm Christ. Whether he can call a let and let Sampras have 2 serves with this big delay lead. Very crucial. Just down to our left. Somebody.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're aware of the situation, and we've in communication through walkie-talkie getting first aid.
Sampras is going to take a couple moments here, and you know, he's not going to serve until he gets the green light that everything's okay. And that would be Norm Christ, who's going to have the final say about when play will be continued. And I think Christ is going to defer to the situation. Unfortunately, it's behind the court, which would be in Pete Sampras's field of vision. So because it is a distraction, they're going to wait until the distraction can be addressed.
We might offer a gentle reminder to keep yourself hydrated.
But Leaf, here's my question. There basically has been a huge delay here, and I think Norm Christ can say Sampras has 2 balls to hit.
Yes, he can.
And Pete could obviously ask him for that ruling.
I would certainly do it.
Yeah. It'd be like another ball rolling on the court to stop play or stopping something. And this delay, obviously.
Well, at the same time, if it happened after the first serve, it may just maintain a second serve situation, unless, of course, this delay goes on for an extended period of time. But it looks like the guys are going to take a moment here. Sampras coming down to the chair. Agassi has taken shelter in the shade with a towel over his head, saying, hey.
And Pete has yet to even ask Norm Christ if he's got 2 serves.
It's just below our booth and to the left, and I can see that some medical personnel are in attendance, and he is walking out, so hopefully that gentleman will be all right. Looks like things are back to good working order.
Well, now Agassi at 15-30 with a chance here. And no call, so it certainly looks like it is. Well, I just heard first serve, so he gave Pete 2 serves. And Agassi on a good return, and now Sampras down double break point. This may be the biggest point of the match thus far. A chance for Agassi to go up 2 breaks.
Well, this is a beautiful way to save one of them. Watch the step out on the backhand. Oh, he's got great feel on that cross-court volley.
And there it is. Agassi rolls the 2-hander up the line. And so Agassi now up 2 breaks. Stay with us. We're at the Mercedes-Benz Cup in LA. Agassi up 4-1 and a set. This was 1999 on this same court 2 years ago, the finals. Agassi and Sampras. Sampras already had the first set. This was a tiebreak and match point in the second set. Look at this shot. Sampras all over the place, won it in 2 tiebreaks.
Now that was a classic encounter, that one. Sampras very efficient, getting by Andre in the tiebreakers, and he hoisted the championship trophy.
It's a bigger trophy than they gave at Wimbledon or the U.S. Open.
That is a great trophy, and now it looks like Andre is going to be lifting it.
Everything going Agassi's way now. He gets the net cord.
Well, momentum, Barry, is such an important part of any sporting event, and Sampras ran off the last 4 games of the first set. He's won 4 straight games here, and you know, he's just confident, cruising.
No, it's long. Agassi, who has
Check
won.
that, Agassi has won the last 4. And
8 of the last 9 games to Agassi, and now at game point to go up 5-1. Oh. Well, that's how many balls Sampras has to hit to win a point against Agassi.
you know, you're sensing that crowd too, that they'd like to see Pete get back into this so they could watch a little more tennis. But that is a long road.
No, that will go out and long. And now 5 games to 1. Agassi in the second set.
Earn both hotel points and airline miles for the very same stay. Only with the new Hilton Honors family. Now with more than 2,000 hotels where your travel is more rewarding.
Agassi now 1 game away from this title. The first set and leading 5-1 as Pete Sampras holds up new tennis balls. Sampras serving to try and stay in the match.
First.
Time since that July afternoon in 2000 when Pete won his last tournament at Wimbledon.
And it looks like he's not going to win a title again here.
No call. Service ace. Number 9 for Sampras. Well, I really thought that delay would work in Sampras's favor. Andre on a roll. Good momentum, and yet he came right back. Agassi did with a fabulous return. There's another solid return off a 120-mile-per-hour serve. This match 1 hour 23 minutes old. First serve. Ball wide. He didn't like that call. Thought he had it. Well, what do you do if you're Agassi right now? Say to yourself, okay, I got one game to hold. How tough should I be on this point? Maybe just start taking a little breather and get ready for the next game.
And he's going to take a few swings at the ball here, just try and create something to get back even. If it doesn't happen, he's going to look to serve this baby out.
There's something about Agassi, though, Leaf. I never see him play that kind of a point. He seems to go for every return, regardless of what the score is. Sampras, an easy forehand volley, catches the net.
A tired-looking volley there. Just didn't move to it quickly. Watch how the ball drops on him. And he ends up having to play a low volley.
And Sampras holds 5 games to 2. When we return, Andre Agassi serves for the Mercedes-Benz Cup. Welcome back to the Mercedes-Benz Cup Championship match. A packed house here at the LA Tennis Center. I'm Barry McHale on with Lee Shiras. Patrick O'Neill bringing you the action. Agassi and Sampras get a big hand from this crowd as Agassi steps up now to serve for the championship. It's long. 3 points away. 15 love. No, it's long. Just over the baseline. 30 love. Service ace, number 3. 112 miles per hour. And Agassi now at triple championship point. He went for it. That will go long. And Agassi has done it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2001 Mercedes-Benz champion, Andre Agassi.
The traditional kiss in the bow to all 4 sides. A big hand for Agassi. He played some great tennis, Lee.
Well, he's proved that he's the best player in the world. He beat Gustavo Kuerten in the semis and took out Pete Sampras here in the finals. So, I mean, it's a clear statement that he is the man to beat, and he continues to as he leads the champions race.
And so an excellent showing for Andre Agassi. He is the champion. A straight set win over Sampras, 6-4 and 6-2. Stay with us. We'll be back, give out the cash and the trophies when we return. Andre Agassi, the 2001 Mercedes-Benz Cup champion, a straight set win over his old rival, their 31st meeting. Agassi, 6-4 and 6-2. Let's go down now to Patrick, who's with the runner-up.
Pete, a tough match. You're up a break early in the first set, and it seemed like from there on out it was all Andre Agassi.
Yeah, he picked it up when he had to. I got off to a pretty good start serving for the serving up 4-3, and I have a lot of problems with that sun on that side. But it was also Andre, the way he was playing, the way he was picking up my serve. He's obviously a great player, and he really deserves it.
You played 3 consecutive night matches coming into the final, and you mentioned the sun on that side. Was the heat and the sun, was that pretty much overwhelmingly the factor?
Well, it was my opponent. That was a tough part.
Oh, that too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, it's got a lot to do with it, but I felt pretty fresh. It wasn't too hot out here, but it was definitely, I was sweating quite a bit. But his level was very high, and he deserves it. He played really well.
Well, you played some great tennis this week, Pete. I would imagine this would have to be encouraging leading up to the U.S. Open. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. I got a couple more events leading up to New York, and I feel like my game's starting to come around a little bit this week. It was nice playing here in L.A.
And you will be back, right?
Planning on it. Planning on it.
Pete, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Back to you, Barry.
All right, Patrick. Well, a very warm reception for the native Los Angeles resident, Pete Sampras, who lives here now, not far from where we're sitting here at the LA Tennis Center. A huge turnout as Patrick now has made his way over to Andre. He is with the winner. Let's go back to Patrick. Patrick.
Andre, phenomenal tennis today. You were just on. Unbelievable. Seemed like you were seeing the ball pretty good out there.
Yeah, well, there's no question. I mean, you know, Pete and I have played each other so many times in so many big matches, and I come out here very well aware of how well I'm going to have to play. And I mean, he had so many chances early in the first set, even before he broke me. And then, you know, then I just made some good shots at the right time, got back into the first set, and kind of used that momentum to kind of sneak away with that. And then, you know, second set I broke from 40-love down, and that's not going to happen, especially against Pete. So, you know, a lot has to go right for you.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a huge game, I imagine, when you broke back, when you got that break at that game. That seemed to be the turnaround. Did that take the wind out of Pete's sails, you feel?
Well, you know, listen, that just brings him down to just a great player. You know, when he's, I mean, when Pete, I think in all honesty, he's one of the best closers in the history of the game. I mean, when he gets a lead, he can stretch it, and I felt rather fortunate just to be in that first set, and then when I snuck away with it, I think that helped elevate my game probably more than it hurt him, but it just elevated mine a little bit.
Way to go, Andre! Well, it seems, Andre, that impending fatherhood's not making you nervous in any stretch of the imagination. You're playing unbelievable tennis. It seems like you're playing the best tennis that I've seen. How long can you keep it up, and how long do you plan on playing?
Well, I mean, the simple answer to that is I don't know. I don't know what it's like to be 32. So, you know, I'll have to play that one by ear. But, you know, my body feels good, and I'm certainly excited to be out here and to play in places like here. I mean, these... thank you, man. But,
you got bragging rights in L.A. That must feel good.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Pete and I are 1-1 here in L.A., so I think we would, you know, we'd share that billing.
You split. Thanks very much, Andre. Congratulations. Back to you, Barry.
All right, Patrick, a very happy champion and a big roar of applause for both players. We'll be back with more. Pass out the hardware and some cash right after this. Well, there's the score, 6-4 and 6-2. They're giving out the awards. Let's head down courtside right now.
Staff members and committee. And for all the ball kids and officials and all the representatives here of the ATP, the Tennis Association would like to thank you for making this 10-day period so easy for all of us. Thank you very much. This event is a true labor of love. It's been a fantastic week, and what a difference a year makes. We started off with blackouts, we had shootouts, then we had lights out last night and lots of sellouts. And the week has been so magic because we started off with talking about baby boys. We had baby grand pianos, Andre, for your great charitable foundation. And then it was a baby girl, and finally, baby, oh baby, what a final. But as we always say here, you know, this might have been great, but come back next year, you ain't seen nothing yet. I'd like to now turn it back over to Eric to make it possible for us to present the hardware and trophies and checks to our two great champions. Eric?
Thank you very much, Bob. 2 years ago, I know many of you are here. It's interesting that those of us who love the game, it's fun to be able to see the roles reversed. I know that one of the guys isn't necessarily happy for that, but for those of us who love tennis in Southern California, it's nice. Can we please bring up our runner-up, one of the greatest champions in the history of tennis, cut his teeth on tennis on SCTA courts. Ladies and gentlemen, to receive the runner-up check, Pete Sampras. And to make the presentation from Mercedes-Benz USA, Dave Shemry.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And Pete, if there was Christmas in July, I think every tennis fan in the world would wish for another Agassi-Sampras match. And you gave us that gift today and continue to amaze us and leave us in awe of both of your brilliance on the court. And not only today have you done that, but 30 other times these two gentlemen have met each other on the court. 15 of those in title matches. So congratulations. And with that, Pete, I'd like to present you with, I hate to even call, the winner of 13 Grand Slam titles, 63 career titles with the runner-up check. You are truly the champion of our 1991 and 1999 Mercedes-Benz Cup, the greatest, Pete Sampras.
Let's see if we can get a little photo opportunity here. Then, Pete, if you come back for a second, let them get a picture of you if you don't mind. You want to get, guys, you want to get pictures? Okay, all right, we'll do that later. Sorry, guys. Pete, I know this crowd is a home crowd. They love you. How important is it coming back after a long season to start the summer series here on the blue courts at UCLA?
I love playing here. It's my home, and it was a nice week. I was staying at home, which was nice. My wife was cooking me some nice meals, which is nice. It's always nice playing. You know, my family was here all week, so that was a pleasure. I had a little niece yesterday, which was a huge occasion for us. So,
as somebody who just recently went through that myself, it usually gets started by somebody else in the family, which means Gus just had a baby. Is there any of you guys thinking about that?
It's a very good chance that I'll be having a kid a little bit in the future. I know Andre's got one here in December, but he's well ahead of me.
You have been a tremendous champion, and we appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, Pete Sampras. And now, Dave Shemry to present our winner's check to the 2001 Mercedes-Benz Cup champion, Andre Agassi.
Thank you again, Eric. And today it was Andre's brilliance on the court that rose to the top, ladies and gentlemen. This was his 17th consecutive hardcore victory. That's amazing, Andre. His fourth title, this was Andre's fourth title this year. His second Mercedes-Benz Cup title, he won it back in 1998. And so on behalf of Mercedes-Benz USA and all of our dealers throughout the country, Andre, it's not only my privilege to present you with this year's Mercedes-Benz Cup, but also to honor you and tribute to you as really someone who gives more than he receives. The Andre Agassi Charitable Foundation has been giving back to his community for several years now. So Andre, not only are you a true champion, a great recipient of today's Mercedes-Benz Cup, but a great role model, I think, for every young tennis player and youth in the United States. So again, Andre, congratulations on behalf of Mercedes-Benz USA. Here's a nice check for you, a beautiful trophy, and all of our heartfelt thanks for a brilliant, brilliant week.
Yeah, hold on to that top. We lost one a couple of years ago. Andre, we are so fortunate here in Southern California. We've had a number of superstars, and we know that.
And we'll be back to wrap it up. Agassi, the champion, here in straight sets, 6-4 and 6-2. Agassi, the champion here in straight sets, 6-4 and 6-2. Well, we just saw the best men in the world. Next weekend, the best women in the world. The Acura Classic from Carlsbad. Quarters and semis on Fox Sports Net and the finals on Fox. Check your local listings for the start times. And then on Friday, August 17th, the Legg Mason Classic out of Washington, D.C. Coverage begins at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Check your local listings. We'll be there in Washington for another great event, the Legg Mason. Well, a tremendous week of tennis, a wonderful day of tennis as two of the all-time greats squared away here in Los Angeles. And Andre Agassi proved that he is playing the best tennis of anybody in the world today with some brilliant, brilliant shots. A straight set winner for the championship. And so for our entire crew here from Fox Sports Net and for my colleagues Patrick O'Neill and my other colleague Leif Shiras, I'm Barry McKay saying so long, everybody.